Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to this video. If you're new here, my name is Apollonia and I am into prepping. Unfortunately, I feel like I was really late in the game when it comes to prepping, and what got me to start prepping and being prepared for my family were the events of 2020. As you guys all know, what we went through as a country and just, throughout the world. That made me open my eyes. So like I said, I was late getting started, but I have been prepping since 2020 and now we are just in 2024, and I will continue to prep, and I will always make sure that I am prepared as much as possible for my family. So we're going to go ahead and get into this video. I will be showing you 8 different foods that can be stored long term, and I would say indefinitely. If stored properly, these items should be able to last you anywhere from 20 to 30 years. So let's get right into the video. So the first item here, you are seeing beans. This is a great item. Not only is it a great source of protein, especially depending on what beans you have. I will go ahead and tell you that white beans, soybeans, kidney beans, I would say cranberry beans, those are some of the ones that are very high in protein and great to prep. Next, we're moving into white rice. I typically like to prep jasmine rice. I don't know, and I can't say that there has been a difference. I have used jasmine rice that is beyond what they would consider the expiration date. In the prepping world, we know that as the best buy date, but that doesn't mean anything. As long as your food is stored properly and it's sealed and everything, it is fine past the best buy date. So I have used jasmine rice that has been stored for 2 years as of right now. I used the bag a couple of weeks ago and it was completely fine. I will say that between white rice and brown rice, my rice of choice that I like to prep and stock is white rice, just because brown rice, although it can be stored and prep, it does not have the longevity of white rice. It tends to go rancid quicker. So just keep that in mind when you are prepping. But of course, you always want to prep what you eat. So if you don't eat white rice or you prefer brown rice, make sure you get what you like. Next, we're moving along to sugar. Sugar can be stored indefinitely as well as salt. The thing about these two, if you're using Mylar bags, make sure that you do not use an oxygen absorber, because if you do, they will become rock solid. So that's really, not a good thing. Although it's not the end of the world, you can always chop it up. But just to make your life easier, just make sure you're not adding an oxygen absorber to that, no matter the method that you're packing, if you're doing it in 5-gallon buckets or Mylar bags. There are also different kinds of sugar. I like to prep pure cane sugar. In the beginning, I was just kind of just buying the cheapest sugar, and I was told that that was beet sugar. So I just tend to stay clear of that now that I know, and I just buy the pure cane sugar. Of course, sugar is one of those things that kind of fluctuate in price. But again, I'm going to go ahead and say over and over again, always make sure you prep within your budget, what you can afford and what you know that you and your family like and will eat. Moving along to fruit. So I'm sure you're thinking, okay, fresh fruit can't last indefinitely. It's not a long-term item that you can store, which is true. Of course, you can have frozen fruit that you keep in the freezer. That's not going to last a very long time. But there are ways that you can store fruits and veggies, such as freeze drying those veggies and fruits. You can also dehydrate those items. And just depending on how you store those can last quite a while. Now, I will tell you that, of course, you can buy your canned fruits and canned veggies, but that's not something that I would prep long term, just because they are stored in a can, and cans can break down over time, especially the pop tops. You want to be careful if you're getting fruits and veggies in the pop top, because if you stack those can create like a seal issue, especially if you are not checking those as often as you should. And then there's another issue with cans as far as certain fruits. If you decide to skip out on freeze drying or dehydrating your fruits and veggies, you can buy the canned jars. Just keep in mind that, because, for example, pineapple, It has such a high acidic, it's just the content of it is so acidic that it can cause corrosion and eat through the cans after a while. I'm not saying that, if you store pineapple 1 or 2 or 3 years that there's going to be an issue, but if you decide to try to, store it long term, like, I don't know, 5 or 10 years, keep in mind that it can, cause issues just because, of the acidic content. Same thing with tomatoes. Tomatoes are acidic, so that is something that could also possibly cause an issue. The next item on our list is milk. So I think most people love milk, some more than others. And it comes in a variety of types and flavors nowadays. I mean, everything from almond milk to regular cow's milk to coconut milk, you name it. There's probably a different, vanilla flavor, sweetened, unsweetened. It's just something that's, I feel like, is a good pantry staple. You can use it in so many different things. Obviously, we love our cereal. You can use it in baking, and it's just so good to have. And the great thing about it is shelf stable. You can find those. I will tell you, when I first started prepping, I was finding the Gosler milk in Dollar Tree for $1. As you know, Dollar Tree is now $1.25, and I cannot find Gosler milk in my store anymore. I think they have a label called Pantry Staple or something like that, and that milk is just as good. And that lasts, at least a few years. So maybe this shouldn't have been on the list for like super long term, but it's just good. It's a good item to have that I think it's just good to have on your shelf. If your refrigerator goes out or anything like that, you still have milk and you can just grab it off the shelf anytime. Canned meats are also great to have in your preps. I know it's kind of one of those things that people either like or they don't like. Some people are able to get over the taste of canned meats, some cannot. But definitely in any kind of situation, I think they're great. They're a great source of protein. There's such a huge variety of the different meats that you can buy. And plus, it's just something you can pop the top or undo the top and you can eat right out the can if possible. Doesn't always have to be heated, which is great. Moving along to pasta. Yes, we have corkscrew pasta, we have elbow noodles, we have elbow macaroni, we have rigatoni, fettuccine. There are so many different pastas, and pasta is a great item to add into your preps. I will go ahead and tell you lesson learned for me. When I started prepping, I put my spaghetti in Mylar bags, and I could not figure out why I had like the air that remain in the bag until I had a few people tell me, hey, like the spaghetti is poking holes. Must have been like pin-sized holes that it was, breaking or, kind of busting through the bag. So a great thing that you may want to do is just wrap your spaghetti. If you want to, wrap it in a paper towel or like put it in a brown paper bag and then seal it, that would be helpful. Moving along to honey. Honey is so great. It has so many uses. Honey, even if it is crystallized because it's been stored away, I mean, it has been stored for hundreds of years and people have used it after that. So even though it crystallizes, it can be brought back to its regular form. And again, it's just so great. It's great for when you're sick, you can add it to honey. It's great if you have allergies. Also, a tip about honey. A lot of people just buy honey off store shelves, but if you want it to help you, especially if you have allergies, it's always great to buy honey that is local to you, as your allergies that you have may be specific towards certain trees and grasses that are in your area. And with that being said, that is the last item on the list. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, especially if you have managed to stay here till the end. I will be doing more videos like this and just different kinds of prepping videos. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I will see you guys in an upcoming video.